Welcome to our lesson today. My name is Jaco and I'm an environmental educator at the Cape Leopard Trust. The lesson today will be very interesting. Today we are going to discuss animal spoor. Now, what is animal spoor? The spoor of animal is any sign or evidence we can see or smell to confirm that a specific animal is in a specific area. Why is spoor identification so important to us? These traces or spoor is very useful in discovering animals, surveying and studying animals in a specific area, and is also very useful when we want to track wild animals. Today we are going to look at 4 of these signs we can use while we're out hiking and to identify certain animals in a specific area. The first one I want to look at is the scent marking of animals. Why do animals scent mark? Normally there's 2 reasons. The first one, and most probably the important one, is to mark their own territory, so other animals won't come into their territory. The next one is also important, and it's for animal communication, when animals communicate with one another through smell. Now we will discuss that in a later lesson. Now the scent the animal excrete when scent marking is normally so pungent, the smell, that even we as humans can smell it. The next sign I want to look at is animal droppings. Yes, every single animal's droppings look differently. So it's quite easy for us to see which animal has been at a specific place by just looking at the droppings. We can see the amount of animals that has been there. We can also see how frequent they will visit a specific area. We can also see what they eat by looking at their dung or their scat in the case of a leopard. The next one I want to look at is a nice one. That's the actual footprint, the actual track of an animal. Now we can use that to identify species. We can see how many different species there are. We can see how long ago they've been to a specific place, and we can also see how frequently they visit a specific area, like for example a watering hole. But we can also track a specific individual by following the footprints. There's also some other visual clues that we can use to see which animals have been to a specific place. First of all, let's look at some of the examples. First of all, we can see scratch marks on a tree. Now that's a way of communication, especially for leopards, and we will discuss that in the communication lesson. The next one is a termite mound. Now you will look at me and say, but why? For the trained eye, there's a lot of evidence there. In this specific case, you can see something has been digging that termite mound. So we have to look at some of the animals that will eat termites, like for example, aardwolf or aardvark. Sometimes the termite mound is hollowed out completely, and it might even be a den of one of these animals. The next thing we are looking at is bird feathers. So often we walk in a field and you don't even notice the bird feathers. But when you pick up a bird feather, you can actually see what species of bird that was, and you can for certain say that that specific animal is in that specific area. Another one we see quite often is a porcupine quill. Now, porcupine quills is just modified hair, the same as ours, and they sometimes just drop out. And that's why we often see these porcupine quills when they are lying around on footpaths. And we know that a porcupine has been there. And then the one I don't like to come across, and that's a snake skin. Now that's a definite sign that there's a snake in the area. And normally when snakes grow too big, they will shed their skin and they will be lying around on footpaths like that. Now, so that's the 4 signs we looked at today. So whenever you walk out in the field, keep your eyes open, look for these signs, and then you will see which animals are all around you. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you will join me for our next lesson. Thank you.